Assalamu alaikum. So very quick, let us talk about this so-called Western hegemony or Western civilization or Western values or norms or cultures, as you might put it, and the way the West tries their best to make sure they promote these ideas over every other ideas or over every other system of governance all over the world, and the way they claim its superiority over any other values or cultures or norms, as you might look at it. They feel they are just the best. And if you look the way they promote their system, the so-called democracy, and their ideas and their values, that if you don't patronize them, those ideas, if you don't patronize their institution, if you don't patronize their values and their cultures and their language and their ways of dressing and so on, then it seems you are just not civilized. That's if you do that as a person. But if your government tries to fight those ideas, those values, then they will have to do their best to topple those governments. And I'd just like to talk about 3 or 4 different items or 4 things that the West try to promote. And for me, I feel it's more about materialism. It's more about making money. It's more about dominance and making you feel inferior. I think it's more about that than morality. And a lot of the times I think morality is more important, of course, than the materialism. Let's talk about democracy in short term. Democracy is definitely not the best form of governance, because there are many countries that have a peculiar or a unique system of governance or of government that have assisted in bringing out their people from poverty and in making sure there is a rule of law. And the system, of course, seems to be perfect and seems to be working for them. But then the West, as we all know, have toppled many administrations, many governments, many successful governments in different parts of the world, being it West Asia, being it in Africa and in North America. And as long as you have a different or a contrary view that is different from theirs, which is democracy, it doesn't matter whether it's theocracy, autocracy, or whatever system of governance. As long as yours is different from theirs, your ideas is different from theirs, then they will have to try to topple you. Very unfortunate. When you look at why I said initially that this is more about materialism, is because in corporate governance, as far as those countries are concerned, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, of course, it doesn't really matter how you behave or what you do, as long as you contribute to that corporate governance. And that is why you continue to see like legal prostitution, underage prostitution. You continue to see things that are completely out of morals. But it doesn't matter, of course, as long as you continue to pay your tax, then nobody cares about what you do in the society. And that's why you see people today in that same West that are so confused. You realize that the rate of suicide is more prevalent in the West than in every other country in the world, or even in any other continent. You continue to see moral degeneration in those same societies than in every other society all over the world. And that's why you continue to see that men, sometimes you see in those society, you see men falling in love with men, women falling in love with women. You see sometimes or men or women falling in love with animals, or you see sometimes men or women wants to be called maybe dog, or maybe a dog, you want to be called a dog, or you want to be called maybe a cat or something, and people pay to transform themselves into those animals. How can God created you as a human being with sense, with eyes, perfect, and then you want to transform yourself into a dog? And it doesn't matter, because as long as you continue to contribute to that corporate governance, And that was why I said, for me, I feel it's more about money, materialism, promotion of materialism. I think it's more about it. It's just simply how to generate money and continue to make money. It doesn't matter the amount, just keep making money. As long as you contribute to that society, as long as you continue to pay your taxes, then you are free to do. You are free to call yourself whatever it is you want to call yourself, because that basis of morality is not even there. But this is not what really hurts me. This is not what, for me, is not really that important. What is more important to me is the way the African governments, is the way the African countries will continue to emulate these people in every step they take. When again you look at this World Bank, IMF, you see every policies that we make, every good policies we make in Africa, these people will continue to try to influence that policy so that you don't get a right policy. They will continue to suggest to us who should become, who should be in government and who shouldn't be in government, who should pay taxes and who shouldn't. And one day we're going to talk about that. Excellently, we're going to talk about World Bank. We're going to talk about this global financial institutions that continue to cripple African countries. We'll talk about that. Not that today. Today, I think it's more about why we should not feel inferior, why we should think that our culture, our value is more important to us, is more peculiar to us, and that I feel should be what we should be. We should continue to emulate. We should continue to work with our cultures. Well, let's talk about this: shyness, respect for elders, supporting the poor, supporting the parent. For me, I think these are some of the most important values in our societies today. Not what you see happening in the West: a child of 7, a kid reporting his parent to the court, and then he will definitely win the case. In general, I think we should always dress like Africans. We should be proud of our cultures. We should be proud of our heritage. The government as well, we must try our best to continue to develop our local content, patronize less of those same evil societies that we continue to patronize. Unfortunately, almost every gadget we have around us is from them, but that doesn't mean we don't have the intellectuals or intelligent people that can be able to produce those same or similar goods. May Allah help us. Thank you.